Welcome back to our Line Opinion panelists. We're going to pick up right where our last segment left off, talking about educational outcomes in our state. A recent legislative brief shows the state has reached the funding benchmarks set in the Yazzie Martinez ruling. Securing that money was step one of the response to that lawsuit, and now years later we have it. But is there enough direction, Sophie Martin, for how that money will be used? Meaning, is there enough clarity on the front end of this? We always seem to put the money in the pot first and figure that bit out later. What's your sense of it this time?
Well, I love that you point that out, because there is a certain cart horse
right.
kind of. Did I say that in an earlier segment too? Maybe I did, about something else. But it is encouraging, I think, to see that we have not just met but have exceeded the allocation requirements set in the lawsuit. In the order from that lawsuit. It is, but the details are going to be really challenging, and there is a certain amount of flexibility that's allowed within the order, and so it's hard, I think, today to predict. Well, and let me put it a different way. I'm pretty much sure that I can predict that we won't, a year from now, 2 years from now, be like, oh, thank goodness, problem completely solved.
Right.
Because this is going to be an ongoing process. It's not a one-time fix, and the problems in our educational system are deeply entrenched and also go beyond just our school systems.
That's a very good point. That's a good reminder for this whole thing. Algernon, Ms. Yazzie mentioned the frustration she's had over the time it's taken to make the changes she fought for. Now, when she started the lawsuit, for example, her eldest son was in the 3rd grade. Now he's in college. And that pretty much underscores how dedicated she has been to making these changes for the greater good, for sure. But how long is too long here? Are we letting down an entire generation of young people here as these grown-ups try to fix this problem?
What comes to mind is that when you're steering a ship, even when you need to change course and you know exactly where you want to head, it takes quite a bit of time, and it can be measured in years to right the course. Add to that I'm not convinced that as a society we do have a clear sense of what direction we want to head into. And I think that we as parents, as voters, as taxpayers, and people like me who report on education really need to keep asking these questions about what is it that we want education to produce. We can talk a lot about putting children first, prioritizing our children, preparing them, but for what?
Right.
Do we think of education as simply making them sort of economically fit?
Yep.
Or is there more to how we want people to grow up and become the kinds of adults that our society needs to be happy and healthy? And that's hard. And we depend so much on our school system for such an array of services. How do we reverse these metrics that are so dismal? What do we think of these metrics in the first place? What do we want our schools to do? It's a very complicated question, and any course correction takes a generation.
That's fair. That's fair. I appreciate that little perspective there. Justine, interesting the winds behind this, so to speak. In the Albuquerque Journal poll on Constitutional Amendment 1, 69% of the public is in favor. That's got to mean something politically.
Well, it does, but like anything, if you told them that the schools have carried forward $500 million in cash balances, and you told them that they got $1.5 billion in federal funds over the last year, and you told them that we have addressed teacher salaries, and we have addressed instructional materials, and we haven't really addressed the things that the legislature can address by throwing money at the problem, maybe some people wouldn't have that view, but we don't tell them that. We say, as Algernon says, this is for the kids. I mean, this is how the gross receipts tax started in New Mexico. 1 cent for the kids, and who's going to vote against the kids? Nobody. But what I think what Algernon's saying is really important. We need to ask some fundamental questions. And many of these questions are local. Many of these questions need to be addressed at the public education department in terms of priorities. They need to be looking at the data that they're getting back from some of their pilot programs. This is a process that takes time. But I mean, we could raise their cash balances 10 times over and nothing's going to change.
Yeah. Hey, so for perspective on what Justine is mentioning here, annual funding for early childhood programs has gone from $179 million to $579 million in just a 10-year period. And the Early Childhood Trust Fund has only been around since 2020, and it's loaded with money. Do we need more money through CA1? I mean,
Well, and meanwhile, is there one more counselor or social worker on the ground at Zuni? I mean, there are tangible things that need to be done, and are they being done?
That's a good
And
point
I mean, the
there.
Legislative Finance Committee says they aren't.
Yep.
Jean, it was something that really strikes me when, about the change in the dollar amounts that have been available for early childhood education is this, these programs are new. To have to see that increase in funding over a very short period of time it's first of all, it's stunning, and I think many would agree that it's stunning that it took us so long to prioritize funding for early childhood education programs. But it is also a reminder that, as both Algernon and Justine have said, it's not just like you turn on a spigot and it happens. There has to be planning. There has to be, Justine, I think, just said research. So it is difficult at this moment to say whether the funds have been effective. I think it's also difficult to say whether we need more funds. I think perhaps for some perspective, it's worth noting that this amendment would take the annual distribution from 5% to 6.25%. So there's a 1.25% change in the amounts of the district, I should say the percentage of the distribution. Right. And so, that small bit may also sort of feel like, that's nothing. Yep. But it is still, I'm just going to repeat, it's mind blowing that it has been such a short period of time that we've been working on that. It is, at this point, I'm not prepared to say, though, we don't need this extra money, or we do. It's just, it is too complex to just sort of, as has been said, like, just vote for the children. Like, what are we doing with it?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Algernon, I got 1 minute here, but I got to ask you, in that interview with Lou, we heard Orianda Mellis, the teacher at UNM's Children's Campus, wants teachers to have more of a say in how that money Sophie's talking about is distributed. Should the state create a panel of teachers who have some level of authority when it comes to these kind of allocations? I mean, seems to make sense.
Well, if we can't let teachers run the schools outright.
Right. Good point there.
It should be an interesting experiment, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is something that teachers express in our, down here we have the second and the fourth largest school districts. And this is something educators raise all the time, is that the resources available to us goes up and down, but we, often find out at the last minute and don't get to really make a lot of decisions about how it's allocated.
Good point there. Hey, thanks again to our line panel as always. Hey, be sure to let us know what you think about any of the topics, and they were good ones, that we covered on our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pages. And catch up on any episodes you may have missed on the PBS video app on your Roku or smart TV.